Someone called me just the other day, and he said about this, one of the versions that he talked about, I can't remember what the name of it is, they take away the words. No sanctification isn't there. Fellowship is not there. Redemption is not there. All these words. They just eliminate all these different words in these new, I guess it's the New Century. Century, what is that Bible?
Century 21.
Century 21, that's whatever.
What?
It's the 21st century.
That's 21st century.
I think it's called the New Century Bible. Something.
21st century.
I made a report on it.
You had the right idea, that's all. You're
That's
good.
what it was called, Century 21.
Well, that's one.
That's a real estate
21st
company.
century?
I know, but I did a report on it.
Well, there is a 20th century King James Bible, but this one here is, I think it's called the New Century Version, something like that,
Yeah,
New Century
something like
Version. And they wipe out all these different things. Into a lie, and then what else did they do in verse 21? Now we change the truth of God into a lie.
They worshipped.
Worship and serve. What's the difference between worshiping and serving?
You can serve without worshiping.
You serve without worshiping.
Worship without swearing.
Worshiping is lying down to, but serving, that means you're really going after it, doing whatever this false guy wants you to do in service, more than whom?
The Creator.
So you see, when you worship a creature, what is the difference between a creature and a creator?
The Creator creates the creature.
Creator creates a creature. Creature is the object or the result, and the originator is the creator himself. What is true of the creator?
That's forever.
Blessed.
Forever.
Forever. And so this is a sad thing. Heathen just went, and we're seeing that in our country and our world today. Do we not? Did we read 26, did we?
Yes.
And now for this cause, what do you think that's referring back to? For this cause.
24 and 25.
All right, 24, the uncleanness, lust of their hearts, change the truth of God, serve the creature. For this cause, what did God do now?
He gave them up again.
That's the second time. Verse 24, he gave them up. Verse 26, he gave them up. This time to what?
Vile affection.
What does vile mean?
Wicked.
Wicked, dirty, filthy, corrupt, vile.
Morally base or evil, wicked, depraved, sinful,
Depraved, sinful.
disgusting, degrading, base.
Notice affections. What is an affection?
Loves. Things they value.
Things they value. In other words, did you find it, Anna? What did you find?
I wasn't trying what I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Now, does an affection necessarily lead to an action? Does an affection necessarily lead to an action?
Not
Not
necessarily.
necessarily. Right? That's the beginning of it. When you have an affection, you love this, love that, you want it. See? Whether it's, whether it's a glass of milk or whatever it is, whether it's a cookie, whatever.
Who want a glass of milk?
Who'd want a glass of milk?
Someone just said
You have milk on your cereal every morning. Or that's
Affection.
What's it, that's
someone who just had a cookie.
Yes, that's exactly. Exactly, especially with the chocolate one. I saw a sign on a car over Wendy's tonight. What did it say anything about chocolates?
I don't know.
Remember, it says,
Oh, something about
if
it.
we don't have more chocolate in this country,
If there's no chocolate in heaven, I don't want to go there.
yeah, that's what it says. There's a big sign right in this car. There's no chocolate in heaven. I don't want to go there.
Oh, my
Well, if that is in a vile
I
affection.
don't think there's chocolate in hell.
No.
That's milk. That seems rather certain.
They have something better in heaven.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
The bread of life. Amen. He gave them over to vile affections, things that they want to think about and do, and then they actually do it. Now, there's an illustration given in verse 26. What is this illustration given about the vile affection?
I take it that he had been discussing homosexuality and now he's discussing lesbianism.
All right, you got lesbianism right here. And he says the natural use of a woman, that which is against nature. Is God against lesbianism?
Yes.
He certainly is, as well as homosexuality, as we see in the next couple of verses. But you see, the people today who are the homosexual parade of great people, do they care what God says about that sin?
No, they don't.
They don't care, do they? Do they care how much evil and how much disease and filth and various other? They don't seem to care, do they?
Even homosexuals that claim to be Christian.
Yes, they have churches. They got pastors, homosexual pastors, and homosexual people. Horrible. Barbara?
I'm okay, because I just gave you a wrong answer. He talks about the women,
Mm-hmm.
and then to hop ahead, he talks about, and also the men.
Right.
So who's he talking about in 24 and 25 then?
Well, uncleanness of all kinds, their bodies.
Just generality?
Yes, well, probably. That's a generalization. Now it's getting specific.
Verse 23.
In these two verses, probably the specific, how they're giving themselves over to vile affections. And the women,
People beforehand.
yes, Todd, yes, sir?
All the people beforehand, that's what he's talking about.
Yes.
It's confusing.
Vile affections, natural use against nature. Hillary's into that. She's a lesbian. She's half and half. And different things. People don't like to talk about it, but she's going to be our president. See, here you have a president, Obama, homosexual, been a homosexual for practically all of his life, and he's leading us. He says that original marriage is a man and a woman. Then he changes his mind, let's have a homosexual marriage. Now he's all for it. See, terrible, terrible wickedness. Bill and then Pastor Dan.
I heard someone speaking on the radio. He's a Sunday school teacher, and he said that he felt that Hillary was a good Christian, even though she speaks in favor of abortion and she is in favor of homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
She claims to be a Methodist, and
Probably is.
this person was saying that he thought very respectful of her and that people should appreciate her for her honesty. What are you going to do to say to somebody like that to convince him that people lie?
You can't. There's nothing you can say.
Nothing you do. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And that's for a woman too. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And so this is where we've got to face it. But we're in serious situations, and you see this T, LGBT, they're the transgender, that's what that T stands for. Now, see, they trotted out the L, lesbian, the B, bisexual, and the, what's the L?
G, forget.
G is,
LBGT.
yeah, B is bisexual.
Bisexual.
What's that?
Gay.
G.
The guy, the man.
The gay, yeah. And then this T. See, now they're really going after it. I read an article today. Here's one lady who was in Washington, one of the schools, or somewhere. She's high up in her museums. And she's a Negro lady. She has a little daughter, and she resigned from this particular high office, whatever it was, in the government. She said, I'm not going to let my daughters be attacked by these men in the bathrooms. There's 2 or 3 men, just today, right in the article. It's a sad thing.
Which bathroom she's talking about?
Well, mixed bathrooms, transgender type of bathrooms. See, that's it. Yes.
To show you how bad it's gotten, I think it was last night or something, I was trying to find a baseball game on there, and there's a whole channel devoted to transgender now. Show after show, and these are psychologists explaining that this they have to know before puberty that they're really a boy, and all. It's nuts. And I couldn't believe it was on TV.
Yes.
It's right there available, and it was early in the evening, so kids could be watching it too.
And as younger people in the schools, they're training them to how to be transgender. That's exactly it. They're training them.
Brainwashing.
What is it?
Brainwashing.
Brainwashing is right. There's an article written recently, and I know all that transgenderism is child abuse. It's a child abuse. All this is horrible. Anyhow, these things, verse